Reindeer Mania continues with this reindeer pencil topper. Hi guys, it's Katie from Yarn Society, and today we are going to grab our worsted weight yarn and make these reindeer pencil toppers. These would be perfect for our stockings. You can give these for classroom gifts or for a teacher gift. You can make this reindeer with eyelashes. You can do it without. You can customize the colors. You can get some Christmas pencils to place them on. So many options, so little time until the holidays come. We're going to go through our supply list and then we're going to get started crocheting these pencil toppers. Okay, we're going to grab our yarn and our hook. We are going to start out round 1 with 6 single crochet into a magic circle. I'm going to make a slip knot, and then I'm going to chain 2. This is how I like to start my magic circle with worsted weight yarn. I'm going to single crochet 6 into that second chain from the hook. Feel free to do your magic circle however you like. There are so many ways we can make a magic circle. I'm going to close up my hole here, and then I like to place a stitch marker on the last stitch of the round. Feel free to place it wherever you like, on the first stitch or the last. From round 2 through 6, we're going to be single crocheting in the next 6 stitches, and this is going to be a little bit tricky if you've ever crocheted single crochet rounds that are this small. Our work is going to end up turning in on us, and we're just going to talk through it as we go. This is what is going to be the post for our pencil. Start out in our first stitch, just going to make a single crochet. We're going to single crochet in the next 6. So that was 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's our 6th single crochet. So as you can see, we see the end of our magic circle, our tail. Things are going to already start to turn in on us. I'm going to tighten this up a bit if I can. Instead of turning our work out the other way, we're just going to keep it like this for now. I do suggest just going really slow. It's a little bit funny to find your stitches when it's inside out, but just take your time and look for these stitches. So this is round 3. We are going to single crochet in the next 6. Here's 1, 2, just look for your stitches. 3, 4, here's 5, and then my 6th is the one with the stitch marker because I place it on the last stitch of the round. Okay, we ended round 3. We still have 6 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. Round 4, same thing. We're going to single crochet all the way around in the next 6. I'll stop counting so you can concentrate. Just take your time and find those stitches. This is our last stitch. I'm going to get that in there. Okay, we still have 6 stitches. We can change our stitch marker. And this is round 5. It's going to get easier soon. These are the toughest rounds, and then we're good to go. Single crochet in the next 6 stitches. At the end of round 5, we still have 6 stitches. For round 6, same thing. This is the last round. We're going to do single crochet all the way around in the next 6. So things are getting tight here, but just take your time and find your 6 stitches. I'm getting a little stuck. Whew, okay, got it. Okay, I'm going into my last stitch of round 6. Our stitch marker is really getting on my nerves. Okay, we're going to change our stitch marker. For round 7, and this is the last wonky round, I promise, we are going to make a single crochet increase in each stitch around. So that's 2 single crochet into the same stitch. You can kind of try to pull your stitches apart so you can see it is a little bit tough, but this is the last hard round. So place your hook in the first stitch, and we're going to make 2 single crochet. Here's 1. Go back through the same stitch. This is single crochet 2. Move over. We're going to make another single crochet increase. Here's 1 and 2. We're going to find our third stitch. Make 2 single crochet into the same stitch. This is our fourth stitch. Make 2 single crochet. Find our fifth stitch, 2 single crochet in the same stitch. And then our sixth and final stitch. I'm going to take my stitch marker out just so I can get in here, make 2 single crochet. Okay, I'm going to place my stitch marker back on the last stitch of the round. And now we will get back to crocheting normally because we'll be able to see our stitches better. So here I'm just going to show you that your pencil end will fit into there. And then as we crochet, we're kind of crocheting up and around our post. You can see here, this is the post, and then that's how we'll end up. We ended round 7 with 12 stitches. For round 8, we are going to make a single crochet increase in the first stitch, and then we will make a single crochet into the next. And we'll repeat that sequence all the way around. Get your hook under that first stitch, and we're going to make a single crochet increase. That's 2 single crochet into the same stitch. Move over for a single crochet. We'll repeat that sequence. We have a single crochet increase. Move over for a single crochet. You might still have to fan out your stitches, but it is a lot easier to see them. We have another increase. Single crochet in the next stitch. We have another single crochet increase. Move over for a single crochet. We have a single crochet increase. A single crochet. And then our last sequence of an increase. And end with a single crochet. For the rest of the pattern, I'm going to be calling a single crochet increase just an increase. Okay, at the end of round 8, we have 18 stitches. Change your stitch marker. For round 9, we are going to increase in the first stitch, and then we are going to single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. We'll repeat that all the way around. So we're going to our first stitch, we're going to make an increase, and then we'll move over, make a single crochet, move over, make a single crochet. Repeat the sequence. We have an increase. Then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1, move over, single crochet 2. We have another increase. Single crochet in each of the next 2. Increase. Single crochet in the next 2. Increase. Single crochet in the next 2. And then we will end with our increase. Single crochet in the last 2 stitches. At the end of round 9, we have 24 stitches. We can change our stitch marker. For round 10, we want to make that little ridge. So what we're going to do is single crochet into the back loop only for the next 24 stitches. Here is our back loop. We're just going to place our hook under those back loops only and single crochet all the way around. Get your hook under the back loop and we will single crochet. Thank you guys for joining me on this crochet along. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I've had like 3 reindeer or 4 reindeer. I don't know if it's 3 or 4 reindeer patterns in a row, but I'm officially done. I have no more reindeer things left in me. I do have a reindeer pocket pal. I have a gift buddy. I have a gift hopper. And then I have this pencil topper. So if you do love this reindeer look, please check out my other reindeer patterns because they all have a different purpose and they're all very cute. So they would be great holiday gifts just in themselves. If you have made any of the reindeer patterns, drop a comment down below and let me know what you've made. I love to know what you guys are making for the holidays and who you're gifting it to. Okay, we're at the end of round 10. We have 24 stitches, and this helps to make that little ridge that we need. For counting purposes, if you can find that ridge, you'll know that that is round 10, and then you can count up from there. For round 11, we are going to single crochet all the way around in the next 24. Just a regular single crochet under both loops. Let me know what you guys are doing this holiday season. We always go to our little German Christmas market. And this year they're adding like some new stuff. And I just saw that they're doing like a daily snow. I don't know what kind of snow. I don't know like what it even means, but I'm so excited because even if it's not snowing, I think we'll be able to experience it. And I think that is the coolest idea. And I'm so excited. I will report back, hopefully take a few pictures and hope that I'm there at the time that it actually happens. I don't know if it's a timed thing, but I'm guessing it is. Let me know if you guys have a Christmas market in your town that you go to. At the end of round 11, we still have 24 stitches. Around 12, we're going to make an increase in the first stitch, single crochet in each of the next 3. Here is our first increase. Single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. We'll repeat the sequence. We have an increase, single crochet in each of the next 3. Here is our increase, single crochet in the next 3. Increase, single crochet in the next 3. We have another increase, single crochet in the next 3. Then we have an increase, single crochet in the next 3. At the end of round 12, we have 30 stitches. We can change our stitch marker. Optionally, you can mark round 13 if you want for eye placement for later, or you can just use that ridge to count. I will show you for round 13 how I like to mark my stitches if you do want to mark round 13. But here, if you wanted to count up from your ridge, you could do that here as well. I like to place a few single crochet stitches and then grab another stitch marker. And I like to place it across my stitches. I just grab a little piece there and that will mark round 13. So continue crocheting all the way around for round 13 and then we'll meet back at the end of round 13. At the end of round 13, we still have 30 stitches. For round 14, we are going to make an invisible decrease And then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. If you don't know how to make an invisible decrease, I will go slow on the first few. We're going to place our hook under the front loop of the first stitch and then directly under the front loop of the next stitch. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook. One tip for the decrease is you want your yarn to be up next to your stitch. You don't want to be pulling on it, so just make sure that it's kind of taut up against your hook. So now we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 2, 3. We're going to make another decrease, go under the front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through. Single crochet in each of the next 3. Here's 1, 2, and 3. We have another decrease. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Here is another decrease. Front loop, single crochet in the next 3. Then we have another decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. And then our last decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. At the end of round 14, we have 24 stitches. For round 15, we're going to single crochet in each of the next 24 stitches. So just single crochet all the way around. I don't know how many Gilmore Girl fans are out there, but I didn't watch it when it came out. And I know like when fall hits, everybody's talking about Gilmore Girls, or like there's so many cute little sayings and things. So I'm like, I'm going to just try it and see. And I'm hooked. Like I'm hooked. I think I'm on season 4. I think I just finished one of the seasons. I've been managing to watch an episode like every other day. So it's going to take me a little while. But when I was sick, I was able to binge a few. So that got me ahead. But I really like it. I don't know why I didn't watch it when it came out. It's so funny. I'm like super invested in their relationships now. Let me know if you're a Gilmore Girls fan in the comments. And I did see that there was like an after Gilmore Girl hour show or something. So I'm excited that when it's all said and done, I get to at least look forward to that too. At the end of round 15, we are going to change our stitch marker. For round 16, we are going to be making the ears. We're going to go ahead and leave a lot of slack, or you can place a stitch marker in your working yarn. I'm going to mark the back loop of stitch 11 and stitch 16. Here is stitch 11. And then we are going to mark stitch 16. I'm going to mark that back loop only. And if you don't have any stitch markers, just feel free to mark with a bobby pin or just a piece of yarn, anything to keep your place. For the ears, I also like to mark the first and last stitch. If you have extra stitch markers, great. If you don't, if you at least have 2, we'll mark the last 2 stitches. But if not, maybe you can use something instead of a stitch marker. So for round 16, we are going to single crochet in the first 10 stitches. Nine and 10. Now we're going to make the ear. So in that front loop only, we are going to make a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet, a half double crochet, and then a single crochet. And that's all going under the front loop only. I'm going to grab 2 stitch markers. I'm going to mark the first stitch and the last. Feel free to just mark the last stitch if you're limited on stitch markers. We're going to start with a single crochet under the front loop only. I'm going to mark it. We're going to make a half double crochet, yarn over, place your hook under the same front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. We're going to make a double crochet, yarn over, go under the same front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. We're going to make a half double crochet, yarn over, go through all 3 loops, and then we're going to make a single crochet in that same front loop. And I like to pause here and mark that stitch. We're going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches. We're going to make the ear again, so we're going to start out under that front loop and make a single crochet. I'm going to mark it. Make a half double crochet under the same stitch. Make a double crochet, a half double crochet, and then end with a single crochet under the same front loop, and pause here to mark it. Single crochet into the next 8 stitches. At the end around 16, we have 24 stitches. We are going to be counting the 10 single crochet that we made here, the back loop only, the 4 single crochet in the middle, the back loop only, and then the 8 here at the end. We're going to ignore all the stitches that are in the pink stitch marker, so ignore all these ear stitches, and we'll move on to round 17. For round 17, we are going to make a decrease, single crochet in the next 2, and then we're going to repeat that one more time. Here is our decrease, single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1 and 2. We're going to repeat that sequence. We have a decrease, single crochet in the next 2. Here's 1 and 2. Then we're going to make 1 decrease. We are going to single crochet into that back loop only that we marked. Ignore all of these. I'm going to get my hook under that stitch. I'm going to take out my stitch marker, make a single crochet. Then we're going to reach our hook over into the stitch next to our stitch marker and make a single crochet. You have to really reach your hook over. Sometimes it can feel a little awkward, but you can reach your hook over. If you have to, give it some slack, and then you can tighten it back up. We're going to make a single crochet. Then we are going to make a decrease and then a single crochet. Here is our decrease. We have a single crochet. We're going to single crochet into that back loop only. Ignore all of the ear stitches. And then this one's a bit tricky, but we're going to be doing a decrease. So you're going to pick that stitch next to our stitch marker. You might need to loosen up here just to get our hook underneath that stitch because we're going under the front loop and then the front loop. And then you can tighten things up and continue your decrease. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. We're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Here's 1 and 2. And then we'll make another decrease, single crochet in the last 2 stitches. At the end of round 17, we have 18 stitches. We can take out these extra stitch markers so they are out of our way. And then we have our little ears sticking up. Can kind of just mess around with your ears just a bit. We are going to grab another stitch marker and place it on our working yarn because we are going to place our antlers, we're going to place our eyes and our nose. We're going to do all the things because we're actually almost done. We are going to place 9mm safety eyes between round 13 and round 14. If you marked round 13, then you already have that round marked. If not, we can count by using that little ridge that we made. Here's our ridge. We have round 10, round 11, round 12, round 13, and round 14. I'm going to place my yarn needle just in the middle here. I like to try to hit in the middle of between the eyes just to get an idea of where the middle is. And then I like to leave 4 stitches open. Your eyes end up kind of sitting underneath your ears. So place them wherever you would like. If you want them to be more spaced out or you want them to be closer together, I just like to leave 4 stitches open in between the eyes. So once you have your eyes in place, you can pause here to make some eyelashes, or if you don't want eyelashes, you can just place the backings on your eyes. We're going to make some eyelashes together. I'm going to grab a piece of embroidery floss and an embroidery needle. I'm going to make a knot at the end of my embroidery floss. I'm going to go on the inside of the head to secure it. I'm going to grab a piece of yarn on the inside and I'm going to pull it through to the knot. Then I'm going to go under that stitch or a stitch near it, pull my needle through until I have a loop. I'm going to go behind the loop and pull that through to make a knot. Now I'm going to go up into that bottom corner of my eye. Then I'm going to pop my eye out just to make things a little bit easier to kind of get under. I'm going to pull that up to have a bit of an eyelash. Pull that through. Then I'm going to go up through that same stitch. I'm just going to put my eye in to make sure I have enough of an eyelash. Okay, it looks good. I'm going to go up through that stitch. I'm going to go up through the bottom stitch, either in it or close to it. Sometimes it's hard to get into the same stitch. Using the embroidery needle really helps. Now I'm going to go up one more time. I'm just going to go up around, scooch over. I'm going to pop my eye in to make sure that that still looks okay. And I think that looks good. I'm going to secure on the inside just before I pull my yarn over so it doesn't pull my eyelash. Go under a stitch on the inside of the head, pull through until you get a loop, and then go behind the loop to make a knot. Now I'm going to pull my embroidery floss over to the other side, and you can do the same steps on the other side. When you're happy with your eyelashes, we're going to make another knot on the inside, grab a piece on the inside, pull through, get your loop, go behind your loop. Oops, lost my needle. And you can make a knot. I like to do this twice, so you can go ahead and make another knot and then cut off your extra embroidery floss. Now that we're done with our eyelashes, we can secure our safety eyes. So grab your backs, place them on. I just like to do this back and forth motion and just get down one click on the post. Do the other side. Now we're going to place the nose. I like to place the nose between round 13 and 14. I'm going to do the same knot. I'm going to make a knot on the end of my red, and then I'm going to pull it through just to secure it on the inside. I like to go over one stitch, so I find that stitch in the middle of my eyes. You can do it the whole length if you'd like. Maybe experiment and see what you like the best. I'm just going to pull it up and then over one stitch. We're going to secure it on the inside once again. I'm going to cut off that extra yarn. And we will make our antlers next. We are going to be placing our antlers between round 16 and 17. So those are the last two rounds that we made. We're going to go across our stitches here. So when we make our antler, we pull it over a stitch. And on this side, I would actually move over a little bit because we're going to be pulling it over. So for this side, we are going to be grabbing a stitch right above the ear. And I'm actually going to go into this corner here because we are going to be pulling our antler over. And then grab your dark brown yarn. Leave a long tail and pull that brown yarn all the way through. And then you can get set up with your yarn and then hold on to that tail with your other hand. We are going to chain 5. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I know this yarn is a bit dark, but I'm going to try to show you here. We are going to slip stitch into that third chain from the hook, and then we will slip stitch into the next stitch. We are then going to chain 4. We're going to slip stitch down 2. Then we are going to end with a slip stitch in this first chain on the original chain. So just wanted to show you that there. We're going to make a slip stitch in the third chain from the hook, move over, make a slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 4. Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to slip stitch in that third chain from the hook, slip stitch into the next chain. And now we're going to go down to that first chain that we made and make a slip stitch. Leave a long tail, and then we are going to fasten off. Yarn over and pull that yarn all the way through. And then I like to tighten it up at the end. Grab a yarn needle, place it in that tail that we just made. And then here we have our brown bit of yarn. We're going to move over to the stitch next to it. And we're going to pull that through. Take the other yarn tail and weave it into the other side, the original side that it was. And then it's going to look like this on the inside. We're going to make a double knot with those 2 yarn tails. You can cut off any extra yarn you have, and then this is how we're looking with our first antler. For the next antler, we're going to move to the outside of the ear because we're going to need to pull it over. So I'm going to get my hook under a stitch on the outer corner. Grab your dark brown yarn, leave a long tail, pull that through. You can get set up with your yarn and then hold on to that tail. We're going to chain 5, slip stitch in that third chain from the hook, slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 4, slip stitch in that third chain from the hook, slip stitch into the next stitch, and then we're going to go down and slip stitch into that first chain that we made. Go ahead and leave a long tail, fasten off, weave in both of your tails, and then make a double knot on the inside of the head. Okay, we have both of our little antlers. So cute. I just love it. At this point, we need to add a bit of stuffing. You can either grab a crochet hook or a pencil or a pen, something that you can hold on to so that that post can stay in the middle. I'm going to grab a bit of stuffing here. And I'm going to start by just placing it around that post. I want the post to stay in the middle as I stuff all the way around it. I like to really push that stuffing down to kind of fill out the bottom of the face. And then add in as much as you'd like. We are going to have one more chance to stuff before we close it, so you can always pause and we can add a little bit more in. Okay, I'm happy at this point with the stuffing. I'm just going to add a little bit more in right before I close, and then we can continue on. We have 2 rounds to go. I'm going to take out that stitch marker that was holding my yarn. I'm going to get set up. Change your stitch marker if you haven't already. For round 18, we are going to make a decrease, and then we're going to single crochet, and we're going to repeat that all the way around. Here is a decrease. Move over for a single crochet. We have a decrease. And then a single crochet. You just move your antlers out of the way, and then you can do a decrease. And a single crochet. And I'm going to let you count your decrease single crochet. At the end of round 18, we have 12 stitches. We can pause here. Go ahead and leave a lot of slack on your yarn or put a stitch marker on there. Get your hook or your pencil back in. It's nice to kind of see how much stuffing you're adding if you add in that pencil or just something to support the middle. I'm going to stuff until I am happy. And I think I'm going to pause there. I think that's good for my reindeer. I'm going to get set up again. At the end of round 18, we have 12 stitches. For round 19, we are going to decrease all the way around. So we're going to have 6 decreases total. Here's decrease 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then our last decrease. We're going to pause here, leave a long tail, because we are going to fasten off and close up this head. So you can yarn over, pull through, give that a tug. Take out your stitch marker. You can get your yarn needle in that yarn all set up. So here I have my fastened off piece, and then I have stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to go down the front loop of that 6th stitch, which is now going to be our first. So this is 1. Go down the front loop of your 2nd, the front loop of your 3rd, 4th, 5th, and this is our 6th. We want to tighten this up, so I like to keep an eye on this hole here, and then I like to take my fingers to close up that hole, place your needle where you think that hole was, and then you can weave your yarn all the way through Give it a good tug on that first go just to flatten it out. And then you can weave your yarn in and cut off the extra piece. We're done. We can adjust our antlers, we can mess with our eyelashes and our ears, and do all the adjusting that we need to. I hope you guys liked this tutorial. I hope you make a ton of reindeer toppers. If you guys want the free written pattern, please head over to yarnsociety.com and check out all of my other Christmas patterns as well. Okay guys, happy holidays, and I'll see you in the next video.